pro boxing fans here in Loughborough with my old friend Angel Fernandez. Angel,
welcome.
I came to Loughborough in my shorts, in my t-shirt. The sun was hot there. I come to Loughborough and I got caught in the rain.
God, that's what happens when you're coming up north, is it?
Exactly.
No, but it's been quite good, you know. Like the weather, yesterday was like 30 plus. So, but today I just don't know what happened.
Crazy times. Let's talk about Loughborough. You've just given me a quick tour around the place. It's massive. People don't know about the facilities here. They will know soon enough through the videos that we've done. But just talk to me about how this all came into place.
I mean, it's been, you know, a long journey with them. You know, obviously, like a lot of emails back and forwards, meetings and things like that. And we just come down to, you know, to the agreement, and now here we are. So I'm grateful to them, you know, for believing in me, and especially to like Richard Ellis and Joe Simpson, you know, and they made this dream happen for me. So forever grateful.
We were walking around and we just saw athlete upon athlete, whether that was netball, whether that was athletics, professionals just training. Then you've got your guys here. You know, I even mentioned it, I asked you on camera before, but it must be a good, you know, it must spur your fighters on even more when they have this competition and this athletes around them, that sort of that positive energy and the positive vibes rubs off.
100%, because I love them. They have been in the Olympics, you know. I love them out going to the Olympics as well. So as I said before, you know, sharing experiences and things like that are gonna make them guys better, you know, because that's what it's all about, you know, helping each other and bring the best from ourselves, really.
Before I get to your fighters, there's a man sat to your left. Introduce him to us, because I know there's a reason he's sat there. Yeah. There's a story to tell. So just introduce him.
This is this is kind of like, I don't know. It's a lovely story, you know. Again, I'm really grateful to have this man next to me, you know. And I just want to put it up there. He's not my assistant. He's not my number two. This man is another coach as myself, you know. Obviously, I might have a better name than he has, but in terms of like knowledge and how he is, I think it's like something just come down out of the nowhere, you know, and they just put this man in my life, really, and I'm really, really grateful to have him next to me, and the guys love him as well. So hopefully it's the start of a new thing, eh?
Yeah.
Angel, you're not very good at introductions. You never mentioned his name.
So I'll let him introduce that himself. His name is Mykola, but his surname, he can say that to you.
It's Khmelkevich, Khmelkevich.
Mykola, just talk to us about how you and Angel have got together. I know there's a story behind this, so I'd like you to explain that.
Yeah, basically we met up in a coffee shop, and I was just, you know, it was just another day, you know, wanted to get myself a coffee, and I noticed Qais was standing next to me, and obviously Angel had passed him by, and I was like, oh man, you know, it's Anthony Joshua's trainer, you know, so I wanted to say hello and stuff like that. So basically I walked towards Angel, and I just said hi and everything, and the conversation have started, and you know, I was just telling him about myself, about my coaching experience and everything. So and then you know, I said, listen, if there's anything I can do, please let me know, and that's it. And Angel said, you know, I will obviously get in touch with you and everything, if you can just give me a number and everything. So that was it, and yeah, and I was just telling him the whole story about myself, how I started my coaching career and everything. So yeah, it was good.
They say sometimes, you know, being in the right place at the right time helps, and I think that's the situation with yourself. But just talk to me about some of your background. We were talking off camera. You were telling me that, you know, you have fought before. So just give me a bit of your background in regards to your fighting and also your coaching.
Yeah. I used to be an athlete myself, doing a kickboxer. From the kickboxing moved to boxing bit, I've won a few titles before, and I've fought on an international level, that's it. So basically, that's me. And with my coaching career, I've worked with professional boxers and MMA fighters. Now I'm here. So.
Angel, what does this man add to the team?
He adds a lot. You know, it's just kind of like when he was telling me the story. You know, his background, where he comes from, and the things that went through. I kind of like see myself into that, and we both have got similar stories, and he brings that sort of kind of like Soviet sort of methodology into the training, you know, which is kind of like we have got the same vision, but it's different sort of like approaches, but the main thing is we both have the same vision, so with like different sort of way of seeing it. And it's a great addition for the guys. You know, I mean, there is days where I could go and do the pads or do the teaching, and then he will see it from outside, and vice versa. Because sometimes when you're in the ring, you don't get to see everything, and it's good to have like another eyes on the side, so they could see things that you might not see when you're in the ring. And as I said, you know, it's teamwork. This is not about Fernandez. This is not about Mykola. You know, how I see it is like we're here in Loughborough, and that's the team. So there is no one coach and a second coach. You know how I see it, and I say from day one, this is one team. You know, and let's do the best for the guys that we're training.
Let's talk about some of the guys that you're training at the moment. We were just earlier on, you know, you invited me to see them run 9 a.m. I go up at 6 a.m. to travel from London, but yeah, the weather is beautiful. But I've seen all three of your guys, Riakporhe, Qais Ashfaq, Charles Frankham, do a great run. First of all, let's talk about the British Cruiserweight champion, Riakporhe, recent addition to your stable. Just talk to me about how that came about.
I mean, I trained Richard like I think once when I was with Isaac like well over a year ago. You know, he came to the gym, you know, and after he left Mark Tibbs, he contacted me. You know, we went through like a week of see how things were going, and both were happy with it. And from here, I just kind of like, I want to say kind of like Mark Tibbs, he's been correcting himself, you know, in a good way. And the challenge is for me now to hopefully take Richard to the next level, because Mark Tibbs done a really good job on him, and it's done to us now to, you know, to hopefully take Richard to the next level.
Richard put on his Twitter that he's looking at the European. I think he said he's contacted him. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I will be asking him that today. But from what you've seen, I was speaking to you off camera. You know, you say this guy carries a bit of power. You know, he's a great trainer. Just talk to me about what you've seen so far with him.
I mean, he's got all the attributes to be a champion. You know, he's got all the physical attributes. He's got the right mentality to be a champion. Obviously, you know, I'm not saying he's wrong or right, but I've got my things, you know, that I believe he could go to the next thing, and you know, maybe other coach will go, I'll see different things, and you know, so far, you know, everything we've seen is good. You know, he's got all the right attitudes, as I said. And hopefully, you know, we're here to help him, and hopefully to take him to the next level, if it's European or world level, whatever it is.
I want to talk about your two other guys, Qais Ashfaq, Charles Frankham. I noticed that Qais was just a machine when he was running. He seems like, well, from what I saw in my first session here, the fittest one here, but not even the fittest. He seems to just be leaving them two behind. But I saw on social media Charles Frankham and Qais Ashfaq was sparring. Just talk to me about, you know, your thought process and putting them two together.
It's good for each other, you know. They helping each other. They actually have bonded well, you know, themselves, even outside the gym. You know, they spend a lot of time together, and obviously, you know, what I like is they talk about the things about training and things like that, you know. So Qais has got probably like the more experience because he's been in the Olympics, and but also Charles as an amateur has got a very good amateur pedigree, but he's good, you know what I mean, and one helps the other and the other one helps the other, so it's a win-win situation.
In regards to these fighters, how hard is it getting sparring from outside at the moment? Is it okay now? Is it gone back to normal? Before, I know when I was talking to certain fighters over like Zoom interviews, they said it was difficult because people weren't travelling, or you know there was a restriction in regards to that. At this present time, is it easier to get sparring from outside?
It's not kind of like easy, I would say. I mean, I'm talking from my personal experience, you know. In here we cannot have more than 6 people in the gym.
Okay.
So what we have is like we allocated the times, you know, we have to give the names to Loughborough, who is coming in, who is going out. So they kind of like keep track of who is in the gym at the time, how many people, etc., etc. But it's been working well because we had people coming in from just like around the corner, you know, Rendell Manro, which again is a good guy to have around, and I just want to say from here, just like thank you for him coming here, you know, and the chats that I have with him, because he helps me to be a better coach, and to have guys that have been there and done it is good for us.
Cool. And another fight I want to talk about before I get to Anthony Joshua is Sultan Zalbek. I know because of this coronavirus period that he's not able to come to Loughborough. What's your relationship like at the moment? Are you guys talking daily? What you doing? Are you helping him out with any sort of training? What's the latest with that?
Yeah, we're helping each other at the moment, you know. I mean, we're talking pretty much every day, you know. We always sharing messages. We're in the group together as well. So obviously I have to have the translator, so until the translator translates the message, sometimes it's quite hard to go into the translator app and translate what he's saying. But me and Sultan, as I said, you know, it's an amazing relationship. He can't wait to be here, and I can't wait to have him here. So and again, he's in between Charles and in between Qais. So again, it's another good addition for them guys to do, you know, any sort of like technical sparring or sparring themselves, and just bring the best out of each other.
Saying that then, actually, Richard's obviously the much bigger one. What are you doing with him at the moment? Because there's only 2 smaller guys you've got there who are probably sparring each other. What's Richard doing for sparring?
We bring him Mykola. Well, Richard at the moment is not sparring. You know, he's got like a niggle a bit on his elbow. So once we have the all clear, you know, from the physios and everything, then we start looking kind of like getting some sparring coming in.
At this present time, you don't probably need to be sparring because there is actually any fights planned for any of your fighters.
But it's also kind of like good to see just like the things that you are trying to teach, you know, to slowly start implementing them into sparring, so then you actually can see it for yourself that things are working or things are not working. So I'm not saying like crazy sparring, obviously, because I believe sparring is for learning, and but when that time comes, you know, we'll bring the best sparring for him.
Let's talk about the unified heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua. I know you've got this base here. I know Anthony is normally, from what I know, either in Finchley or he's up in Sheffield. How are you working that around in your busy schedule?
We just make things happening, you know. I mean, the guys that do know, I've always been, you know, loyal to Josh. You know, I'm grateful for him, and as I said, to the whole team, you know, for the great opportunity. And we make things happen, you know, between the whole team, myself, Joby, Rob, we all training Josh, you know, one day or another. And then when he's in Sheffield, it's just good for me because he will be just down the road. So just like going up there, come back, you know, we make things work.
I know he's preparing for that Riakporhe fight, which we don't really have a date for. But what's he doing at this present time in regards? Is it just a sort of takeover training? What's happening with him at the moment in regards to training?
It's just you know taking over, learning new things. You know, implementing like different things. You know, he is fit, he is healthy, and that's all that matters really.
Can I ask you? You've got a varied amount of fighters. So you've got obviously the people who are Qais, Ashfaq, and Charles Frankham were very small fighters. Then you've got the Riakporhes and the Anthony Joshuas. Does training change for fighters, the bigger fighters or the small fighters? Do you change your training to sort of adjust to their style or their speed or whatever it is?
I mean, you have to. You're not going to train a lighter weight the same way that you train a heavy guy. but being in the camp with Josh, you start understanding more. I mean, it took me a while to kind of like get to understand him, and I think, you know, now I start to kind of like understand even more what it is to train a heavyweight, a cruiserweight, and a lighter weight. So yes, 100% you have to adapt to each individual.
I want to move on from your fighters, and I really want to get opinion from both of you guys on a couple of fights that have been announced. First of all, Luke Campbell, Ryan Garcia seems like it's done, or it's nearly done. They just need to make it official, from what I'm reading online. Great fight. Firstly, Mika, just talk to me about how you see that fight playing out.
It's definitely a great fight. A very interesting to see who we're going to win. It can really go both ways, really. Luke Campbell is a very sort of technically gifted, you know. So is Ryan. I see really a 50-50 match here, so it can go either way. As my opinion would be, Ryan can just have a chance here winning on points.
You're Ukrainian, and obviously your guy Lomachenko fought Luke Campbell. Just talk to me about that fight, because when I look back at it, obviously Luke Campbell stayed in the fight. But do you feel like maybe Lomachenko could have ended it at any point he wanted to? Because we were talking about this slightly, and you know, you were saying that Loma just wanted to show off his skills.
I just think that Loma is, for me, is way superior. You know, like he's very technically gifted, Lomachenko, and I think he wanted to show to everyone how superior he is, and he boxed so beautifully there, and for me it was a great show. He put on a great show, and it was in for our British public fans, you know, it was amazing to see what he could offer. It's great. It was a great fight, though.
Your opinion on Luke Campbell, Ryan Garcia?
I'm not one to. I like to talk about other fighters or other fights, but again, there's loads of exclamation marks, you know, on both ways. You see the fight that could make Ryan Garcia, or see the fight that it'll prove really how Luke Campbell, how good he is, which is good enough. You know, he's got the pedigree, he's got the experience as well. So I think it's going to be a good fight. And as Mykola said, for me, I truly believe it's a 50-50 really.
Actually, another fight that actually came to mind when I was talking about Lomachenko, and it seems like the talks are nearly done, from one of the most known journalists, Mike Compinger, sort of tweeted a couple of, about 12 hours ago, that Teofimo Lopez, Vasil Lomachenko, has been agreed. It's obviously to be made official. That's a good fight, but take your Ukrainian hat off. Let's talk boxing. How do you see that fight playing out?
Oh, right. Again, Lopez is a very strong fighter, really. So it's really tough for me to say. But again, for Loma to have another belt will be amazing. You know, to get a win from this fight. I think again it can go both ways, really. So this is a high level. So when you fight on that level, it can go really both ways, because of the fight. Both fighters are very skillful, very strong. I'm sure they're going to put on a very good show. So, but I'm not going to call it. I'm not going to say anything here. So for me, both fighters can win the fight. You know. So yeah.
I'm not going to tell you to call it, because I know you don't like sort of throwing predictions. You said it before as well. But do you feel like Teofimo has the skill set? Because we know the skill set of Vasil Lomachenko. Do you feel like he has a skill set or certain attributes that can trouble Vasil?
Yeah, I mean, he's got the speed, he's got the ability, You could see that Lomachenko against Linares, he struggled a bit, you know, with the speed early in the rounds. But I think for me, I mean, Lomachenko at the moment is the man, you know, on top of the cake. And to beat him, I think it will have to be someone really, 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 really special to beat that man.
Final one, I want from both of you guys, is the return of Errol Spence Jr. after his car crash. And he's definitely not messing about with his return. Danny Garcia is his opponent. Just talk to me about that fight. Firstly, Angel, you talk to me about that one because we know that that's a tough fight because nobody knows what the state of Errol Spence is at this present time. So talk to me about that one.
It's an interesting one because, I mean, before the accident, I'll probably, my mind could go more with Errol Spence, but it's how the exclamation marks, mainly for me, are kind of like, how is he going to perform after the accident that he had. I think it's an absolutely amazing matchup, you know, 50-50 again. And again, I mean, boxing is, I think, we start to get to see like 50-50 fights, and that's what the public really want to see. But I don't know, it is a difficult one. This is a really difficult one.
Well, yeah, it's a great matchup, really. Both fighters are amazing, and I can see Errol's winning this. I see him winning by KO. You know, to be honest. So he's got a good power. Even though he had this horrible accident that happened to him. He's gonna come back. He's gonna come back, obviously strong, and I really do hope that this is not going to bother him, in terms of like with any sort of extra injury he may have picked it up from the accident. But yeah, he's gonna be ready for it, and I'll call Errol winning by KO. I'll say maybe round 6 or 7 should be.
I better do it better.
I like him. He doesn't sit on the fence. But you know what? Actually, just for yourself, you've obviously seen the Eastern European market. You've Ukrainian yourself, but you've seen the Russians. You've seen everything else. Certain Russian coming over next weekend in Alexander Povetkin against Dillian Whyte. Talk to me about this fight. Do you feel like Povetkin can upset the apple cart?
It's a heavyweight division. It can happen from one punch, really. So anything can happen from one good punch. As long as Dylan will stay focused and obviously, do what you have to do with his sort of like a game plan that he's got in, and that's it. He should be capable of actually winning the fight. But Povetkin is a very, very strong and dangerous fighter. So and he's proven himself on a highest level of heavyweight in his division. So he fought the best in the world. So he's got him. You're not gonna judge his experience because he's got the experience of facing anybody. And yeah, a good punch, good strong punch can go either way. So yeah, I think Cool.
Angel, just your thoughts on that fight.
I think it's 50-50. You know, I mean, Povetkin proved a lot of people wrong. When he fought Hunter in Saudi, obviously it's a dangerous fight for Dillian. But to be honest, I couldn't say a winner on that.
Cool. Right, I've taken 24 minutes of your lot's time, so I appreciate that, Angel. It's been a pleasure coming down. You invited me down and sort of come down to this facility and check it out. I know the boys are training in a short while as well. But without a doubt, once we get some more sort of fights announced with your guys, I'd like to come down again if possible. But thank you very much once again. And actually, yourself, I think a lot of people know Angel Fernandez on social media, but if not, I'll get you to talk to them. But yourself, how can people follow you and your journey?
I'm on Instagram. It's Khmelkevich is my surname.
Oh,
I'm going to spell out for you.
You're gonna spell it out.
You need to spell it out?
You
Okay.
should have it written here.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's MKHMELKEVICH. Yeah, follow me on Instagram, and thank you very much.